Welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this past week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you're interested, I've linked some similar recipes down below. The first dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made a chicken parm over some pasta. So I'm starting out with my 1 chicken breast. I just butterflied it in half so I have thinner pieces of chicken. Now I'm just going to season both sides. I am using some garlic salt and some Cajun seasoning. So I'm just going to make sure I season both sides really well because I do want the chicken to have some flavor. Next, I'm going to work on breading the chicken, so I'm just going to use an egg wash and the panko. You could also do flour, egg, then the panko, but I just decided to skip this step. So I'm just going to make sure that I bread both sides really well. Clearly I needed some more panko, so I'm just going to do that to the other chicken breast. So next I'm going to fry it. I'm just going to fry until both sides are golden brown. Then I will stick this in the oven to finish cooking. So once the bottom side was nice and crispy, I just went ahead and flipped it so I can crisp up the other side. At the same time, I have a pan that I'm just going to throw some marinara sauce in. I did not make my own marinara sauce. This is just the jar version. Just going to spread that on the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to lay both pieces of chicken down. So next I'm just going to spoon a good portion of that marinara sauce on top of the chicken, and then the cheese I am using is actually jack cheese, so not actually parmesan. So I put this in the oven to finish cooking, and then the last like 5 minutes I took it out, spread some cheese on top, and threw it right back in the oven. I cooked some fettuccine noodles, and this is how everything turned out when it was done. This was super good and was served with a side salad. The next dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made some pulled barbecue chicken sandwiches and some potato wedges. So I'm going to start out by cutting up the potatoes. I'm just going to cut them into some wedge form. These are kind of smaller potatoes, but they did work out just fine. My husband loves roasted potato wedges like this, so I make sure to make a good amount. So next I'm going to work on seasoning them. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of oil to kind of help crisp them up in the oven. I'm going to use all of my favorite seasonings, some garlic salt, garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, and some pepper. So I just threw these in the oven at about 375 until they were nice and crisp and soft inside. So at the same time, I did have some chicken cooking in my Instant Pot. I'm just taking that out and shredding it up, and then I will lather it with some barbecue sauce. My favorite barbecue sauce is still the Sweet Baby Ray's, the original, so I am sticking to my go-to. Just going to toss that around until all the chicken is coated, and definitely add more barbecue sauce if needed. So the last step, I tried to get a little fancy and toast my buns. So this is kind of how I'm toasting them. I just sprayed a little bit of like olive oil spray and kind of let them toast up. This is how everything looked when it was done. Just a nice, simple, but delicious meal. The last dinner I'm going to be showing you, I made some garlic butter chicken with rice pilaf and a side salad. So I'm starting out with my rice. I've never actually made rice pilaf like this. Normally I kind of just throw seasonings in the boiling water already, but I'm going to toast the rice kind of how I do Mexican rice, and then I will add some seasonings into here. So I'm going to throw in some garlic salt, garlic powder, and some onion powder. I am just measuring in teaspoons as well. So I'm just going to stir this around, let those seasonings kind of cook on the pan, and then I will add in my water. So I'm going to add in 2 cups of water and 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon powder. So I'm just going to give this a nice stir, make sure everything is well combined, and then I'm going to bring this up to a simmer or a boil and then turn the heat down and cover it. So next I'm going to work on the chicken. I again am just taking 1 chicken breast and butterflying it in half to make it kind of thin pieces of chicken. I'm just going to pat this into some flour. I'm not going to do an egg wash coating, just going to do a light coating. I totally did forget to season the chicken, and I realized it like halfway through, but I was like, there's no going back. I'll just do extra garlic butter. So I am going to melt 1/2 stick of butter. I'm going to just have that over medium-high heat, and then I will throw the chicken in when that's nice and bubbly. So I'm just going to let this cook on both sides until each side is kind of nice and brown. This isn't going to be a thick crust or anything, but I did want to get it a little bit brown. So once the chicken was done, I just removed it to that wire rack to finish cooling, and then I chopped it up into some nice slices. So next I'm going to make the sauce that's kind of going to be drizzled over the chicken and the rice. It's just some garlic butter. I am just melting the other half of that stick and adding in some garlic, and then I'm just going to cook this together. This is how everything looked when it was done. Just a nice dish, nothing too heavy. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.